So we'll cover some of the factors that will help us decide which metric is the right metric. Keep going. I think let me come back to the slide a little later. Let me cover the factors first. Yes. Okay. So I look at seven main factors when I'm trying to figure out my pricing metric. The first one is, what is customers' perception of risk when they're buying you? Do they think you are a sure thing or risky bet? Many of the times, young companies are risky bets. Companies don't know whether they're going to get ROI from using the product. That will influence the company's decision of what pricing metric they may set originally. And I'll show you some case studies there. Then there are mental anchors. There may be really great things. Like you may think that I've selected the right metric that is proportional to the customer's ROI, but the customers will not even understand what you're talking about sometimes. I'll give you an example of that. You may select a metric that you think is the most economical for customers, and the customer still may not understand or be able to do the math, and they'll say, we're just used to buying it this way, just give it in that, that way, which is even more expensive for us. So mental anchors are also important.
Like, I think because sometimes what happens is that the product team or the analytics team understands that, oh, the customers who, let's say, use more of a video functionality, they generate better ROI. But then many of those analyses, again, are obvious to us because we live and breathe that product. They are not obvious to the buyer who is not as familiar with the ins and outs at the point of purchasing, right?
Right. So yes, that's inside versus outside in, and also existing category versus new category. It's sometimes easier to explain or educate in a new category, but if it's an existing category, the behaviors are already set. Then the third is alignment with value. So that's the first thing that we were already starting to talk about, right? Like it should align with value or their perception of value. Perception, I would say, is the more important word, because our understanding of their value or their perception is going to be different. Now, those are more on the customer side. So those three are more like outside in thinking. The other ones are more things that you have to do math on your end to make sure, is this decision the right one? So one is consumption patterns. I'll show you two charts here. You have to kind of know across your entire customer portfolio how much they are going to use you or not use you. Are they going to use you every day, or are they going to use you sporadically? And that will change how much money you will make from the customer. And that will also depend on what type of product you're selling to them. Number 5, cost. So you will often see that the infrastructure as a service products like Amazon's products or Snowflake products, Cloudinary, have a reasonably higher cost, or if you're buying SMS APIs that sit on carriers, telephony carriers, the margins are lower in those products compared to application SaaS software where the margins are much higher. So if the margins are lower and you're not getting economies of scale, then you may be forced to pick a usage-based metric because you want to keep your margins higher, depending on what the other factors say, right? So the best way to do is run through the checklist and figure out where do you net out from all the analysis. So competitive action is another. If competition, you have user-based pricing today and competition comes in with usage-based, which is much cheaper, then you may have to move. And then finally is implementability. And I cannot stress this enough. Everything else may really check out. Many times the organizations are not capable enough to implement a new complex pricing model. And years can go by and you're just thinking our ideal strategy is not working because we never had the engineers to deploy it.